Yeah, that's all from my side. Yes, thank you. हेलो,
हेलो अक्षय, मैं बाहर खड़ा हूँ.
आपको मेरा एड्रेस किसने दिया?
अरे हमारा लिंक्डइन पे बात हुआ था ना माय फर्स्ट जॉब एपिसोड 2 के लिए.
यार मैंने आपको बोला कि मैं सिर्फ रणवीर के साथ पॉडकास्ट करूंगा.
अगर आप आओगे तो हमारे पॉडकास्ट पे व्यूज आ जाएंगे.
चलो आ जाओ, देखते हैं.
आ रहा हूँ. Alright guys, welcome to our second episode of My First Job. Our today's guest is Akshay, who is a management consultant, content creator with almost 1 lakh followers on LinkedIn. He is an alumni of IIM Kozhikode, CA. He has cleared his CFA both in first attempts. He works as a management consultant full-time yet makes time to create content on LinkedIn, that too actively. In today's episode, he talks a lot about his career decisions, who paved his way from being a CA to a management consultant at EY Parthanan. Akshay, thank you so much for calling us to your place.
Happy to be here and cannot say no to Inside Time.
Right. So Akshay, you did pretty different things in your life so far. How do you identify yourself? So you are a management consultant. You also create content. You have done your chartered accountancy. You have done your CFA. You are from IMK. You did your MBA there. So if somebody asks you who Akshay is, how would you like to define yourself?
Probably jack of all trades, master of none for now. But so I'll quote the great Akshaykumar over here. He said that I'm Akshaykumar. There's a price for everything. That's how I live my life. If I think I can make some money, or if I think there's some growth possible, so I try to go towards that. So currently, I would say there are 4 major things I focus on. First being obviously consulting. So I started my consulting career with PwC as an intern. Then worked at Deloitte, BCG, and currently EY Parthanan. What do I do there? Simple. Helping companies make better decisions and charging a bomb. Right? So that's basically it. Second is LinkedIn content creation. I've been creating content on LinkedIn I think since 2021. I have around 1 lakh followers and 25 million views every year on average. And I have done around 40 brand collabs. As we've seen with COVID, it's just too unpredictable.
Right.
So I normally like to plan my life in 3 or 4 years. कि ये 3 years में next भी ये करना है. Yeah, this is one thing which I want to focus on right now, or over the next few days, few years, etc.
Let me take you back to your CA days. आपने CA articleship की होगी. There's a lot of hustle there. You barely get time to do something else. उस phase में आपको कुछ realization ऐसी हुई थी कि I want time for myself, या आपको खुद के लिए कुछ करना है, या CA was the only sole focus that you had back then?
मैं अपने डैड की बात बताता हूँ यहाँ पे. तो what he always used to tell me, बहुत ज्ञान की बात है, बहुत ज्ञान की बात है. Everyone should hear this. Your career is like a building, right? And either you can take the stairs or you can take the elevator. आप जितनी ज़्यादा अच्छी पढ़ाई करोगे, उतने ज़्यादा कम फ्लोर्स आपको सीढ़ी से चढ़ने पड़ेंगे, बाकी वो एलिवेटर कवर कर देगा. तो ये बहुत ही मुझे लगता है क्या बात है, वाओ. ठीक है. एंड लुकिंग एट मी यू कैन सी दैट मुझे स्टेयर्स से यूज़ करना पसंद नहीं है. ठीक है. तो ये मेरा फोकस था कि यार आई वांट टू स्टार्ट एट अ ग्रेट लेवल. आई मीन ग्रेट मतलब अ बेटर लेवल दैन लेट्स से आई वुड हैव स्टार्टेड फ्रेश आउट ऑफ कॉलेज. सो दैट वाज द गोल. तो ड्यूरिंग माय सीए डेज एटसेट्रा आई वाज टू फोकस्ड. पढ़ाई करना है, आई वांट टू क्लियर द एग्जाम्स, एंड उसके बाद चिल तो बाद में भी कर लेंगे. उस टाइम मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड भी थी जो मेरी वाइफ है अभी, बट इवन शी न्यू कि प्रायोरिटी इज ऑलवेज कि वी वांट टू क्लियर दिस एग्जाम, एंड देन eventually obviously we'll have enough time to chill, which is a lie.
but we will come to that.
Yeah, but so that was the clear focus. And even all my extracurricular activities I only started after CA. So till CA everything was just पढ़ाई office. CA and CFA मैंने एक साथ कर लिया. तो May 16 was when I cleared CA final, and June 16 was when I cleared CFA level 3.
Wow.
So ये interesting story है कि the day my CA final exam got over, everyone was obviously partying. सब दोस्त obviously they were having a good time, and I had to go back to the library because my CFA exam was after 15-16 days. I knew कि I want to do something else. MBA was always the final goal.
अच्छा.
वो काफ़ी clear था. तो when many of my friends got into the top IIMs, even I was enamored by it, and मैंने सोचा कि let's try right away. I was very clear कि मुझे CA job नहीं करना है. I was very clear with that. तो I looked out for more finance या consulting type की jobs. अब consulting jobs as a CA मिलना थोड़ा difficult था at least that time. So I joined a boutique investment bank because I was getting a front end finance role.
Okay.
Which people don't get, but I was obviously not getting paid as well as probably some of my other colleagues.
Correct.
Who probably took an audit job, etc. They were getting paid more. I wanted a better role basically.
हाँ.
Role पे focus था.
हाँ. तो आपने फ्रंट एंड सेलेक्ट किया था बिकॉज आपको इवेंचुअली थोड़ा मैनेजमेंट साइड में ही जाना था, यू वांटेड टू, सो आपका वो डिसीजन कैसे था कि बिकॉज दैट्स अ टफ कॉल टू मेक.
सो ड्यूरिंग माय आर्टिकलशिप I worked with a great firm. बहुत अच्छा firm था जो हमें exposure देता था. तो I used to interact with a lot of clients and I realized that I enjoy interacting with clients. And that is something which I'm good at. I can get information from the client. जैसे you know, and I can break the ice. 5 मिनट बात करूँगा, सर कैसे है, आपकी बेटी कैसी है, ये वो सब ठीक है. And then I can probably get the work done, etc. Why MBA? If you ask me, there are 2 major reasons. One is मारवाड़ी ब्रेन which is कि स्टार्टिंग CA जॉब सैलरी कितनी होती है उस टाइम पे 6-7 lakhs. MBA में टॉप 6-7 B schools, what is the average salary? 20-25 lakhs. But then because CAs normally नहीं होते हैं B school में, I thought कि I could get a better package than the average package.
Interesting. अच्छा.
वो thought था. तो I was like कि I looked at the top 20-25%. नॉर्मली ब्रेकअप मिल जाता है हर B school का. तो वो मेरा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस था प्रॉब्ली कि आई वाज लाइक टॉप 25% तो 25-30 लाख कमा रहा है एंड आई एम लेट्स से आई एम अर्निंग 7 lakhs. तो 7 to 30 पहुंचने में तो मुझे 5 साल लग जाएंगे या 6 साल लग जाएंगे. बट यार इससे बेटर तो probably do an MBA for 2 years. So I saved 2-3 years. So that is one thing. Monetary obviously was a very big factor.
Correct.
The second factor was kind of roles. So finance और consulting roles generally इतना easily नहीं मिलते हैं to CAs at least that time. But now things have changed. But उस time पे इतने नहीं मिलते थे. Or maybe I was not aware enough to apply to the right places. So kind of roles and money.
But after MBA, जब आपको tag लग गया कि you are from IMK, what was the role you were working as and आपका क्या job था specifically?
Yeah, so my first job after MBA was very dramatic. So I'll tell you the entire story. Right. On campus, I got a PPO from PwC as a consultant. March 13, 2020, I came back to my house, and 2 weeks later, what happens? COVID-19. Right. My job post-campus was deferred by 9 months. Right. So March, I am at home. They are asking me to resume office from January. Right. And I'm thinking, यार मैंने पढ़ाई तो खत्म कर ली है. I've graduated from a good college, and now यार I have zero income for the next 9 months. That is just crazy, right? So that time I had to improvise. So what was the first thing I did? Now I had no option to take. I mean, I was trying to look for other jobs, but I still had to make some income, right? Because मैं घर पे बैठा हूँ.
Correct.
Internship मिलनी भी मुश्किल हो रही थी. तो उस time what happened was I started creating content more aggressively. Secondly, I also started taking lectures. So my friend who went on to BCG and me who went on to PwC, we both thought कि यार अभी घर पे बैठे हैं क्या करें? Take advantage of this situation, so to say. So we reached out to, we made a deck, like consultants, like 2 consultants, we made a deck, right? And हमने कुछ 15 कॉलेज को शूट किया कि we want to do lectures for you, we want to take lectures for you. तो I think few accepted. तो we went to colleges like SRCC, Gargi College, basically Delhi University में काफी we went to, and some in Mumbai as well. I think NMIMS we went to, etc. So that is actually how my teaching journey also started.
ये ऑनलाइन लेक्चर्स की आप बात कर रहे हो?
Correct.
आफ्टर MBA आपका जो जॉब था ना कंसल्टिंग का, इनिशियल डेज आपके कैसे थे कंपेयर्ड टू योर फर्स्ट जॉब एज अ CA?
So if I talk about my first job as a CA, or even if I go slightly even more back, right, which is as an article. So as a CA, you know that you have to work as an article for 2 years or 3 years. I mean 3 years, right? Shit, 3 years.
3 years. 3 years. My sister is also doing.
Yeah. So my salary that time was 3,000 rupees per month. 3,500 or 3,000 rupees. That was the first year salary. So that's why when I used to take a leave during that time, I was like, ठीक है 100 रुपए तो कटेंगे. क्या ही हो रहा है? But 3,500 rupees per month was my salary. And obviously you have to safeguard that, right? You have to safeguard that. So I stay around 20 minutes away from the station. So take a bus to the station, take a pass, use a train and go and walk to the, it's almost like probably I think 1 kilometer walk from the station to the office, right? So that's how life used to be. And by the time I used to reach there, I was drenched in sweat, right? Compared to how life was as a consultant. My first job was with Deloitte India, but it was basically a work at home type of job because the pandemic was on, as I said. So there was absolutely no travel, right? So I'd probably talk about my experience at BCG. That would be more relevant. Around 8 o'clock, I used to leave from my house. So 7:30, a car used to come, below my residence. I told the driver to give me a call as soon as he's here. So he gave me a missed call. I know he's here. So I get ready, right? I have my breakfast, sit in the car. I'm taken to the client place, and then throughout the day, I have the car with me. And when I want to leave, I just give him a call. Boss, come, and that is the biggest advantage of consulting. You will get perks, but the problem is that you have to start your day early and you have to
stretch it through.
Stretch it through.
Yeah. Compared to your initial days with in CA, articleship का I'm not counting because stipend होता है शायद से.
Right.
Correct. Compared to initial days as a CA, Akshay, आपका अगर अभी आप BCG में अगर आप एक दिन लीव विदाउट पे लेते तो आपका कितना कटता था?
That's a great, it's very smart way of asking my salary. But I'll probably give you a rough estimate.
Yeah.
So my salary post CA, my first job, to now, I am earning probably 10x.
As a CA, not as an article.
As a CA. But that also speaks a lot about my post-CA lower salary. It's not that I've done very well, but 10x is the jump.
Okay, and when it comes to lifestyle changes, has any major lifestyle change happened? How comfortably can one manage their money and allocation आपके savings का, personal expenses का कैसा change हुआ है compared to your initial job?
I used to, probably set aside some money for my house, obviously, right? That's there. Then I used to, because I was also studying for CAT, etc. Then any tuition fee, etc. I used to take care of that, obviously. So I did not get, there was not a lot of money left to invest. But yet, my father is a stockbroker, right? So I have to invest. I don't have an option, right? So whatever money I could save, from the initial days, our rule was simple, that 10% of the salary will go to a mutual fund. The rule was constant. So the amount might keep varying basis how you grow, but the rule was constant. So from my first job, we used to put some money in the mutual fund. Obviously, some money you spend, living your lifestyle, etc. And probably whatever is left of, we used to invest in the stock market. After I've, let's say, paid off all the liabilities I have, whatever money I have, almost 80-90% of that I'm investing. So as of now, if you ask me how much is my cash balance or bank balance, not be more than 3-4 lakhs. But I would definitely recommend that whatever you make, try to invest at least 40-50% of that. Because and that's a major difference which I feel versus 2016, which is earlier my money didn't used to work for me. Now I think my money is also working for me.
Very interesting. I'm sure you enjoyed your money as well, because why not, right? So ऐसा कुछ price position आपने खरीदा which is very close to your heart?
I'm a true Marwadi. I married in this place at my house. So my marriage took place you are at my wedding venue. It is pretty though. So we were 20 people of us. So, but there is one thing which is, I love watches, right? So I don't know if I should say this, but I have a Breitling watch. So that is something which I spend.
The chronograph you have.
I spent money on that.
Crazy.
Which is expensive.
Yeah.
So probably when I think back, don't think it was a smart way to spend money. But yeah, that is my prized possession, so to say.
Right.
But one thing which I, thanks to my wife, one thing which I try to do is try to take one vacation every year.
Consulting is infamous for the work-life balance, and
Right.
it keeps happening on social media. Also, we get to see different type of posts. Okay, work-life balance की वजह से people are not getting to enjoy their money probably, or they are not able to spend time with their family. Is that a myth? Because I see you doing content, having a full-time job, and you take out time for your family as well. So, are there specific roles which require a lot of your time and attention, or are there specific companies which probably give you a better work-life balance?
Let me answer the second question first, which is, are there specific companies? So I divide consulting into 5 parts. Consulting landscape into 5 parts. First being tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. I mean, let's go it that way. Tier 1 meaning BCG, McKinsey, Bain, MBB. Like the 3 Khans or like IMABC, they are the top players, right? They pay you exceptionally well. They'll give you the best perks. I mean, everything is on the house. But then, if there is a call on Saturday or on Sunday, you have to pick it up. I had a argument with one of the managers once. He told me that, dude, I called you at 1 o'clock in the night. Why didn't you pick up? I was like, I slept. He's like, no, whenever I call you, you have to pick up. So it's that simple, that you are giving your blood and soul for that company. You are getting paid handsomely. So that is tier 1, where work-life balance is almost non-existent. Then you have tier 2, firms like EY Parthanan, Accenture Strategy, Monitor, Deloitte, Strategy and etc. They'll pay you slightly lesser than MBB, but your work life will be slightly better. Plus, you will still be doing good quality work. Correct. Then you have tier 3, which is Big 4. So as you go down, the money will keep on decreasing, but work-life balance will keep on getting better.
Got it.
The unfortunate part is, when you're on campus, everyone wants to go to MBB. But the thing is, after 2-3 years, you realize that maybe that is not your dream job, because you are not that kind of person who wants to work for 15 hours a day. That simple. So after you spend some time, you realize that you are meant for one particular type of company. Identifying that, I think, will solve most of your problems. If you're poor at your job at BCG, doesn't mean that you will be poor at a job at, let's say, Deloitte, because the requirements are different. So understanding what you prefer, what suits your lifestyle, that is key.
That is when you can do your authentic work as well without feeling a lot burnt out.
Correct.
Where you also you kind of identify where you are fitting well.
Correct.
And that also defines the culture that you want to be a part of. If you're not somebody who wants to probably work 15 hours a day, then you should not go in certain companies, because it's always a trade-off. You always trade time with the money in anything that you do also, right?
And if you want to work 14 hours a day, you can always join Infosys. That's
obviously depends on the project that you're working on and the stakeholders that you're coordinating with. But largely, if somebody has to know what a week in the life of a management consultant at EY Parthan looks like, how would you explain it?
So, as you've already mentioned, there is no fixed week per se. But let me give you an example, right? Normally, what will happen is, when you start on Monday, you will have a team meeting at, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning, depending on who you are working with. Some people want 9 also. I don't want to work with them. But basically, whatever, in the morning, you have a team call where you decide what you want to achieve in the next 1 week. Normally, good managers will have this style of working. So you know what is to be done, right? On an average, let's say you have a client meeting on Friday, right? Now, if a client meeting is on Friday, it has to be reviewed by the partner. So it has to be reviewed by Thursday. If it has to be reviewed by Thursday by the partner, means the director has to see it by Wednesday. So typically the first 3 days will be more about researching stuff. So let's say they've given you a problem about you want to launch a new product. How do you go about it? So you do all your research, you go to all your websites, maybe you do some primary calls, conversations with experts, etc. You do the research, you make the slide, or at least have a first version ready by Wednesday. So your first 3 days of your week will be more of research, maybe slide making, etc. Right? And then you present it to the partner, to the director on Wednesday. He'll give his comments, which will be important to address. So your entire Thursday goes in those comments. and then you present to your partner. He will give you comments. So all your Friday, half day will go into addressing those. Finally, by let's say Thursday, by Friday, around 4, 5 or 6 o'clock, you will have a client meeting. The meeting gets done. If it's good, great, no work on the weekend. If it's bad, you have to work on the weekend.
Right. I mean, harder you work on Mondays is, I think, probably you have a better chance to not work on the weekends.
Controversial.
Can't say. Okay.
So you know, I wrote a post about this that your Friday starts with saying that यार अच्छे से कर लेते so that we don't have to work till late today. By midday you are like अच्छे से कर लेते so that we don't have to work a lot on Saturday, and then Saturday you start by saying कि अच्छा जल्दी कर लेते so that we don't have to work on Sunday.
Right. When it comes to creating content, Akshay, so do you think practicing what you preach without being an expert in it works on social media lately? Or you have to be an expert first before talking about anything or having any opinion?
I'll be very honest. Even if you are not an expert in something, you can get the audience. Fact ये है, क्योंकि आपने 2 लोग का content पढ़ लिया, you know what will work sort of. Even if you're not an expert, you can survive and grow. But in my opinion, it is better if there are 3 things you tick. One is specifically for LinkedIn content creation. First is you should have been there, done that. Like for example, if I'm talking about consulting, I should have spent some time in consulting. If I'm talking about consulting interviews, I should know how to crack them. That definitely works. Second is you need to give good content. There are many people from IIM Ahmedabad creating content. You need to have a good profile. You need to create good content, and finally you need to be consistent. If you post once a week, you will not get traction. So I think there are 3 things which an ideal creator should have. But that being said, nowadays we do see an increase in people, you know, 17, 18 years or 20 years who are talking about making a career without having depth. But I think what will happen is if you are talking about something which you don't know much about, people will eventually catch that you are faking it till you are making it.
Akshay, thank you for taking out time and doing this. I'm sure people will find a lot of value from this video, and I hope they were sitting with a pen and book to note down the value nuggets that you were throwing on them.
And thank you for accepting that you will share the YouTube monetization with me in this video. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Okay guys, so if you liked watching this video, please leave a like and do comment below your favorite moment. Also, if any questions that you had were left unanswered, please comment down below and we'll make sure that it reaches to Akshay and we get back to with those answers. Also, please let us know which guest you would want to see on the next episode of My First Job. Also, Akshay, again, thank you so much for doing this with us.
It was an absolute pleasure and looking forward to doing this again sometime.